How you doing, YouTube? This is Gunner Return 67 bringing you another YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be on my ultimate survival tin. Alright YouTube, let's get into it. What you got before you is my ultimate survival tin. Just think of this like an Altoids tin, but much bigger. Real quick, the dimensions for this is going to be about 2 3/4 inches tall, 7 3/4 inches long, and 3 3/4 inches wide. Now this is made of heavy duty aluminum. It's got latches that are riveted with little rolling rubber rollers to help pop it on and off. Everything seems pretty sturdy. So let's go ahead and open her up and see what's inside. So now if you see right here, there is a seal around it, so this makes it watertight. All right, the first thing that's in here is a standard trash bag. Any good prepper or survivalist will always have some type of trash bag to be utilized either as a shelter, a poncho, keeping your gear dry, or you can put leaves in that and then throw it down and lay on top of it and get you off of the ground. So yeah, trash bag's important. Next, got a little survival paracord survival bracelet. It's about 15 feet of paracord, so we got some cordage. Next, I got this big beefy candle. Now this is a 9-hour candle from Yuko. I wanted it to be a bigger candle than just a normal tea light. That way I can take my fire source, light this, and then I can light other things and save the fuel I have in my light source. So in that 9-hour candle, the Yuko candles, I've actually gotten almost 12 hours out of each one of them. So definitely really good. Next, I got a survival rescue blanket. It's actually pretty big. It's 84 inches long and 52 inches wide. It's a decent size survival blanket. So you go ahead and make a shelter and then utilize the trash bag as some type of sheeting on top of your shelter. And then you throw some leaves on top of that, almost like a lean-to debris shelter. And then you wrap yourself in this and you create a fire, and you definitely have yourself a situation that you could possibly survive. Next, I've got this Aquamare Frontier water filter. Now, this is real simple. Here is a charcoal impregnated filter on this bottom or that end. And then you take this, you stick it in here, and you have a filter purification device. This is good for up to 30 gallons, and now you have water. All right, so next I have about 25 yards of 15-pound test fishing line. So we have that. I have a bright orange bobber. I have about 15 fishing hooks, 15 fishing hooks right there. I have some swivels and some sinkers right there. And I have some small lures. I got about 3 or 4 of them. I got 4 of them, I do believe. And then, so with all of this fishing kit, I can go ahead and make some type of primitive fishing rod. And I've got this little eyelet here that I can put at the top of my stick or the bottom of my stick and run my fishing line and have a makeshift fishing rod. So that is everything in my kit in regard to being able to fish and have fish as a food source. Now, what I have in here as well is I have a slingshot. This is perfect. I can go ahead and use this to, I can put rocks in this or some type of shot. If I wanted to put some shots in here, I could. And I can go ahead and take small birds, squirrels, rabbits, things like that. This is perfect. And then you've got the elastic tubing right here. So we'll go ahead and I'll snap this on. You just put this in the slits provided, and voila, now you have a working slingshot. And then I've also got an extra elastic band in case this one breaks. Now what I also have right here to make this to where I can get even bigger game, I've got just a normal key ring that you go by with your keys, and then I have a couple of zip ties. Now these zip ties, what I would use these for is I would zip tie this, these zip ties, one here that ties into that and another one over here. I've got two of them. And now this sits in the middle. And now I can utilize this as a sling bow. I can go ahead and make a shaft. And you're probably asking yourself, well, how are you going to do that? You're going to go ahead and do flint knapping. You're going to do, you're just going to sharpen a shaft. No. I'm going to go ahead and use this, which is also in my kit. An SE AH1 arrowhead. Now, this is very sharp, but I will go ahead and fashion a small arrow shaft, and then I'll go ahead and use that hole in the middle, and I will lash this to the shaft. Probably put some fleshing on a shaft, and now with this zip tied on here, now this can sit right in the middle of this, and now I can take bigger game, or I can still go after squirrels and bigger birds like geese and turkeys and things like that, and have much more chance of having a quick kill. Now, what I'll probably do, I'll probably go ahead and add some type of pink or bright orange, emergency orange engineer tape. That way I can fashion the shaft of it with it. That way I can recover it, because the big thing is I only got one of these. So you want to be able to recover this if you utilize this as an arrow, because the chances of missing are there. You want to make sure you recover this. This is the most important. The shaft can be recreated out in the bush or in the woods, but this one, it's a lot harder to recreate. All right, so that's my slingshot and all the accoutrements to make it a sling bow. All right. So next I have a Exotac ferro rod. So there's a ferro rod. Here's a carbide striker. You go ahead, put this back together as such. And now you just go ahead and you strike. All right. So that is one way of making fire. And the Exotac makes excellent ferro rods and fire making devices. Next, I have a second way of making fire, just a straight Bic lighter. I put a mini one in here to try to save room so I can go ahead and put more material on there. So next, I have a Phoenix EO2R flashlight. So this thing is pretty bright. As you can see here, it has a USB, but it's an emergency kit, so I have no way to recharge it. But this thing is phenomenal. It has two settings. This one is just 30 damn, I can't, I'm having a brain fart here. It has on low of 30, and then it's good for up to 48 hours. And then if you go all the way, it's got a setting of 300 lumens, 300 lumens on high, which is only good for like 15 minutes. And then on low, which is 30 lumens, is good for up to 48 hours. So the Phoenix EO2R. All right, next I have the blade that goes in this kit. Now, I could have went ahead and went with a smaller blade, but this is a nice Benchmade Presidio. It has a little less than 4-inch blade. About 1 3/4 is serrated. And then I have a 2-inch normal blade. Now, I wanted a bigger knife to go ahead and put in here. That way I can do more variety of tasks. I can do everything from carving. I can do game dressing. I can cut all types of cordage. I can even baton with this. I'd probably refrain from doing much batoning because this would be my only cutting implement. But it's nice and thick. At the thickest part, it's 3/16 of an inch, so it's nice and thick. So now I live in the state of Florida. Because of our constitutional carry laws, this is legal to carry as long as it is under 4 inches and it is not a ballistic blade. Automatics are legal here in the state of Florida. So that is my cutting tool. Now, to maintain my cutting tool, I have this small Norton sharpening stone. Pretty straight and simple, nice little sharpening stone. I have some thread, all different types of thread. That way I can mend my clothes, things like that. And I got a needle, a sewing needle on here as well. So I can go ahead and do that. Next, I have from Aviation Survival Equipment Company, I have a Fresnel lens. So between my ferro rod and my lighter and now a Fresnel lens, I have 3 separate means of starting a fire. All right, and my last piece of material or equipment that's in the Ultimate Survival Tin is going to be this Grimswork survival card. Now, it's got this little blade, it's got some fishing hooks, it's got some needles or sutures, and then it has this this broadhead. Now, I've actually taken this knife off and I've tried to sharpen it up outside of maybe cutting cordage and maybe processing some small game. It's not very good. Now, these fishing hooks, they're serviceable. So, and then the broadhead. Now this one up here, the one with the slits in the back, I would use this one. Now this is this is stainless steel. It's very thin. So if I would hit an animal with this, I'm sure it would be fine. But if you start hitting like trees and things like this, it will bend. Especially this other arrow where the slit is up top near the blade. So So the biggest value that this card has is these fishing hooks right there. So in addition to the card, I also have some paper here that I have emergency contact information written down. And then I can also, if I need to, use it as a fire starter in a pinch. All right, so that is everything that I have in this ultimate survival kit. One of the things that is missing, I don't have any medical in here at all. If I would switch some of these things out for smaller things, I might be able to fit like a tourniquet in here. If I switch out the Aquamir Frontier water filter for some Aquamir water purification tablets, and if I do go to like a beeswax tea light candle, I could probably make enough room to put in some medical. So that might be something that I do in the future. But right now, this is the kit I have. And I'm very happy with it. I have the ability to, I've got cutting implement, I have cordage, I have numerous ways of making fire. I have a way of purifying my water to drink. I have some material to build shelters and to gain food with via fishing, a nice fishing kit, and then a way to get small game like birds, squirrels, rabbits. And then if I go ahead and fashion a arrow and make this into a sling bow, then I could probably procure some medium-sized game. So me personally, I think this Ultimate Survival Tin is pretty solid. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button. In the comments, let me know what you like, what you don't like. Let me know, is this a solid survival tin kit? Am I missing anything? Let me know in the comments. I really would like to hear from you. I'd like to start a conversation on it. That's about it, YouTube. This is Gunner Restarting 67. I'm out.